All right, what's going on, guys? Chris, Tech Savvy Agent. Welcome to another episode of The Q. This is episode number 2. Wanted to say thank you guys for all your support with episode number 1. Absolutely tremendous feedback. You guys see next to me here, we had 2,110 page views, 1,900 unique views, so that's great. So a lot of different people got a chance to watch episode number 1. We actually had average time on the site about 7.5 minutes. To put that in perspective, our normal time on the site's about 2.5 minutes. So these are the kind of data points that I look at to kind of tell, hey, is something working good? Is it worth continuing to do? And then you can see the number of tweets and shares, 281 shares. Wow, 64 tweets, and I think there were also 35 comments. So thank you guys. That's what I wanted to start with. And I will ask, if you like the episodes, if you think the content's valuable, please do what you did last week. Share it, email it to your office, get it to your broker to get it out there, your AOR, obviously anybody that could get it in front of a lot of agents. So first thing, thank you guys. Had a great first week. This week in the queue, so we're going to cover this week a number of things. The first thing is called About.me. So About.me, and what that is basically the About page on your website. A lot of times it's not that nice. It's a little bit outdated. And then on top of that, what I learned at Inman Connect is that it's usually the number 2 or number 3 most viewed page on your site, even though it's not always the best page. So there's a cool new service, Qwiki, Qwiki.com as well. And I got invited to be on the alpha kind of testing team for this a while back. And then my man Mike McClure from Professional One kind of wrote a post about it the other day that got me excited about it again. So we're going to cover Qwiki.com, Pip.l, P-I-P-L. We're going to cover that. That's a tool that Ben Kinney uses, and he recommended it. And it really is just an amazing data aggregation tool. Wi-Fi digital frame. Kodak sent me this amazing kind of digital frame, but it's got some enhancements, so I want to cover that. Evernote, I don't know what I'd do without it. I just figured it out about a month ago, and I'm totally sold, so I wanted to expose Evernote to a few additional people. And then the next versus the now. So a lot of times I cover the next, but a lot of times you're not even using the now quite properly. So I'm going to cover kind of a little bit of my thoughts on that concept of the new versus what's already available to us. So number 1, About.me. You guys are going to love this. So you go to About.me and you set up a profile. It's no longer in beta. This company was purchased like 6 days after it launched. So there's a lot of this kind of stuff out there where, you know, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I got a blog, I got this. How do I tie it all together? And think of About.me as the site that can kind of tie it all together. The other cool thing is it gives you some good analytics. So you're going to know this many people have looked at this page for this many minutes, this many times. Which social media icons did they click over to? But what's probably the most important thing is take a look at the actual page. This is mine, and hey, it's kind of hot, right? So if you would try to do this on your own, I mean, I know it's not over the top, but it's simple, it's elegant, it's very modern. To build this on your own, on your site or on your WordPress would take you a long time. It takes about 30 seconds to set this up. And then you can see I got my blog linked up, my Twitter and my LinkedIn. I've got my Facebook page, and there's a button there to email me. So somebody can go to About.me/tech-savvy-agent, get all the information they want, and then they can go down the path that they feel the most comfortable with. I might be looking you up, but I might like Twitter, so I'll hit you on Twitter. I might like LinkedIn. I might like Facebook. I might just want to email you. So you're giving them all the best options, but right in one page. Definitely check out About.me. Unbelievably cool, easy, free. You get the point, but man, it's a hot new service, About.me. Number 2, Qwiki. And Qwiki is such a cool thing, you guys. I looked up on their website. What is their goal? Their goal is to forever improve the way people experience information. So what are my thoughts on Qwiki? Can we use this for real estate? What is it really? Here's probably the best description I could give you. Think about if Wikipedia was all video. So think about Wikipedia having a child with YouTube, and that child's name is Qwiki. And by the way, if you're the founder of Qwiki or like the CEO of Qwiki, that's just fun to say every now and then. But let me give you guys a live demo. What I put in Brooklyn, New York. What's cool here is all this content can be shared and embedded, but I want you guys to see a Qwiki really quick and just kind of see what it looks like. So let me roll that tape.
Is the most populous of New York City's 5 boroughs, with approximately 2.5 million residents, and the second largest in area. Brooklyn was an independent city until its consolidation with New York City in 1898, and continues to maintain a distinct culture, independent art scene, and unique architectural heritage. Many Brooklyn neighborhoods are ethnic enclaves where particular ethnic groups and cultures predominate. Brooklyn's official motto is Imdrad Makt Mangt, written in the Dutch language. It is inspired by the motto of the United Dutch Provinces and translated as "In unity there is strength."
So think about that. I mean, how hot is that? I had to put in Brooklyn, New York, and I got all that information. I think the point of Qwiki is that people just don't like to read as much. You know, look at the time on our site when it's written versus video. Video does better. Now, they can't go through the whole thesaurus and the almanac and the encyclopedias, and they can't actually pay a person to do that voice, but they got a pretty cool technology there. And can I see uses for that in real estate? 100%. I'm selling property in Brooklyn. How long would it take me to create what we just saw there? Probably take me a lot longer than 2 seconds. So I can just go into Qwiki, create a video about my market or put in keywords about things that are relevant. It's going to build the video for me, and there's an embed feature. So I can copy that code, put it on my site. Now I've got all this great information about Brooklyn. Almost looks like it's coming from me. That is an amazing service called Qwiki. It's in alpha, so you go over there and request an invite, and it's really, really growing in popularity. So check out Qwiki. Thought that was definitely worth covering. The next topic is Pip.l. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Pip.l or People, but it's Pipl.com. And this is another service that was introduced to me by a colleague. I mean, Ben Kinney. He explained it to me, and here's what it does. A little different. We could always Google somebody, but Google kind of looks at the top layer of the web. What Pip.l does is it tries to go down to the deeper levels of the web and find a lot of information. So we meet somebody at an open house, we get their email, but that's all we've got. We don't know a lot about that person, or we get their name and we know where they live, but they didn't give us their email. Pip.l is a really great way to find out more. So if I have a lead or if I have a buyer, whatever it could be that I want to talk to and really get to know them and really have a good feel for who they are, check this out. Look at all this information that it returns. And I just used Darren Persinger, my friend here, as the example. But it started pulling in relatives. It started pulling in where he lives now, where he used to live in Wisconsin. It mapped it all out for me. I mean, it even pulled in his MySpace profile. So, Darren, I don't know if you might want to delete that thing. Your hair looked different and stuff back then. But you kind of get the point that this is not just getting the surface level stuff. This is going a little bit deeper. It's going into some of those social profiles. You would be amazed how many people's phone number you can find if you just have their email, or how many people's email you can find if you have their name and the city they live in. So take a look at Pipl.com. I think you guys will like it. And it's really, this information is out there. You're not the big brother doing all this, but just leverage it to help your business. Why not? Pip.l.com. Next up, the Wi-Fi digital frame from Kodak. So I was going to just show you guys this live. And Kodak was nice enough to send this to me for free, which is always pretty cool. But the reason I think it's neat, I'm going to show you guys a couple of examples. So this is just what you see there. I mean, just a normal digital picture frame, nothing out of the ordinary. But I think the key is that this bad boy is Wi-Fi. So what does that do? Well, the picture you're looking at I didn't have to upload this. What I was able to do is I could just connect this to my Facebook. And now I don't even have to think about it. Anytime I add a new picture to Facebook, it's going to pull it in. Obviously, you got a couple different options, collages or whatever. So what it's doing, guys, is it's updating this frame automatically. So if I'm in California and I upload a picture to Facebook, it's going to automatically start like putting that into the slideshow. So I thought that was really cool. The other really cool thing is that there's going to be a dedicated email address to that frame. This thing's like right around $100. I'm thinking like a closing gift. So it's going to give me a dedicated email address. So it would be chris@kodakpulse.com. So I'm the agent that gave this frame to the client when they moved in. I can actually send an email of any image that I want to that email address, and it's going to pop up on this frame, right? So let's say 30 days after the closing, I want to get something over to my client. There's a million ways to do that, but wouldn't it be pretty cool if all of a sudden in their living room, just the image that you sent kind of popped over? I mean, I think that would be really, really cool. Now, I probably wouldn't send my headshot, you know? Probably wouldn't send, hey, call me, or do you know anybody? But what if you sent an image that said, this week's sold data is now available on techsavvyagent.com, right? I mean, so it's almost like you can almost do like a little bit of a drip marketing campaign right into that digital frame with the Wi-Fi email capability. I'm sorry, that's better than wine and cheese, you guys, as a closing gift. So about $100, Kodak Pulse, and I'll put a link below to a discount plus free shipping. What's up next here in the queue? Evernote. Evernote is something that, again, I think I was like the last person in kind of the tech sphere to start using it, but it's really, really something that at this point I just use every single day. So anytime I find something that I'm using daily, I want to share it with you guys. So Evernote, it does a number of things, but here's some of the high-level features. When you're talking about taking a note, it doesn't just have to be text. So you can take text, images, video, or audio. So basically, all your notes can be multimedia, which is great. The second thing that's great, it will sync all this data across any device, but also you don't have to be compatible. So let's say, for example, I have an iPhone, which I do, and then I have an iPad, but let's say I have a PC. Well, it doesn't matter. It'll all talk to itself. Or let's say I have a MacBook Pro, but I hate AT&T, so I have a Droid. It doesn't matter, you guys. You're going to have access to all of your notes all the time by using Evernote. Mobile is the key here. iPad app, iPhone app, BlackBerry app, Android app, plus it's on your desktop. So definitely think about downloading Evernote. The other really cool thing, and I was trying to think of like a way to use this as a real estate agent, obviously, you can share the folders. So I might not want you to see all my notes that I'm taking, but if I have a client and we're going to be communicating, I can set up a folder that's shared between me and the client, which I think is a really great idea. And now any notes or any kind of information that I want to kind of sync back and forth, we've got our own little shared account there. The other thing I think it would be useful for would be like if you have like a team that you're working on. So if I'm working with, Christina Wise, the Good Life team, there's however many agents in that office, there could be a Good Life team shared folder. And the other cool thing is like these little web clippings. So it's not just notes that you type or whatever. Christina could be browsing the web. She reads an article from Tech Savvy Agent that she wants everybody else to read. There's a little icon in your browser bar with an elephant. You just hit that button, and now that article goes right into that shared folder. So if you're not using Evernote, you definitely want to think about using it. Absolute great tool, free. If you end up using like a bunch of data, there's a little bit of an upcharge, but you might not run into that. The last thing I want to cover, what's next versus what's now. And this is pretty big. And before I do that, if you guys think this is a good show, if you guys are like loving this, and like literally, if you're watching a web show right now and you're taking notes and you're getting like ideas, please share this, you guys. Email it out, tweet it out, send it out on Facebook, right on our wall. But please help share this information. That's really why I'm doing it. What's next versus what's now? So I'm as guilty as anybody of covering the next. Here's the newest shiny object. Here's Evernote and Qwiki and Pip.l. I mean, good God, right? Who's heard of this stuff? So I'm pretty guilty of kind of trying to keep you guys ahead of the curve. But I just wanted to take 1 second and just always remind you guys, there are things that are working now that you may not be using perfectly yet, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're on Facebook and you've been there a year and you haven't really generated any kind of business, you need to start focusing on improving that strategy before you go over to Pip.l, okay? Or if you are not using any video and you've never done anything on YouTube, right? So like a blog and a database and a nice website and Facebook and YouTube, those are kind of like the new basics in my opinion. Those are the now. And until you've really figured out the now, I would actually advise you to not be so excited about the next. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know I cover a lot of stuff. I know you guys mostly love it. I mean, most of the audience here is eating it up and implementing and loving what's next, but just don't lose sight of what's now. Make sure you're executing on that stuff. So that's it for this week's episode. Thank you guys. Please share this, tweet it, Facebook it, email it, whatever it takes to get it out there to as many agents as possible. Also, if you have any feedback on the show, if you thought this week's show was good, you like the format, there's a comment section on the blog here. Please leave comments. Let me know what you think of Qwiki. Let me know what you think of Pip.l. Let me know what you think of About.me. We love getting feedback on the content that we're providing. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Episode number 2 of the Q is in the bag. I'm Chris with Tech Savvy Agent signing off. See you guys.